Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. If you guys only saw the amount of work that goes into doing these lives and all the last minute things that I have to do right beforehand, literally creating a poll for our Kempire Daily YouTube live chat. How would you rate this episode of Kandi and the Gang? I'm posting it now. Everyone, drop your elephants and your crowns. I know it's been a while since I've said that. And also let me know where you're watching from. This is our weekly recap of Kandi and the Gang. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clearly. If you were here earlier, you know why I'm saying that. We're testing out new equipment. We're filming from a new spot for now. I'm resting my foot. Resting my foot. Guys, if you missed it earlier today, we went live for our Love and Marriage Huntsville. We had side conversations about other shows that Carlos King needs to do. Be sure to check that out. We have such a great time on a Sunday afternoon. Happy Palm Sunday. We even did some church music. Let me take this picture so you guys can see me in my boudoir. Hello. Thank you all for being here. I'm your boy, TheKempire, and this is the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. And after our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, we had a couple of stories that we had to get into, including an updated story about Will Smith, Chris Rock breaking his silence on when he will talk about the situation at the Oscars, and Erica Jane threw away Garcelle's book in the garbage can and posted it on social media, but everyone's pointing out that she doesn't recycle and that she had some old phone. Be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. Let me take a sip because you missed it. We had a live watch party exclusively on TikTok, and for those that were wondering, I was there. I didn't see you live. You're not following our backup page of the same name of this YouTube channel, Kempire Daily, on TikTok. Follow us there. We can go live there. Nessa says, where are you, Kempire? I'm in the boudoir. All right, let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. You know, one of our proud sponsors here at the channel for like over a year now. We've been collabing with them for a very long time. Head on over to coldest.com so you guys can get your own coldest water bottle or something for your coffee or something for your pet. They have stuff like that. Something. Look, it's the holidays. It is the holidays. It's Easter. Anyways, let's get into this Kandi and the Gang recap. Let me open my notes because you guys know if you were watching with us, I was taking notes. Kandi, I know some people are going to say, Kempire, you're paid by Kandi. And then I'm like, you obviously don't know me. You obviously do not know me. I like this show. I think this show has really good potential. Are there pre-produced moments? Yes, reality TV is not what reality TV used to be. However, I truly enjoy this show. I enjoy the old lady gang. Shout out to all of you guys. I see that you're all watching from multiple places today. What's going on? Atlanta's in the building. Seattle's in the building. What's going on? Indiana's in the building. Jamaica's in the building. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? All right. So I'm chilling. Watching Kandi and the Gang, it's really a good show. Is it a great show? Is it iconic? No, but it has potential, and it's not about Kandi. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to watch Kandi because Kandi's boring. Kandi can be boring, but this show isn't about her. It's about everyone else. And honestly, seeing Kandi come in every once in a while, I'm reminded at why Kandi is really the queen of Atlanta. She knows everybody. Everybody loves Kandi, and that's a reason. That including Bravo loves Kandi because Kandi is not a nightmare behind the scenes. Kandi's not a nightmare behind the scenes. T. Lou says it's better than Portia's show. I hate to compare it, but literally we just got off of watching Portia's Family of Lies. We just got off of watching that, and it was so pre-produced. It was so forced that it's not believable. And yes, I get all of your text messages where you guys tell me about Fallon and the news that she broke this week and the back and forth. Fallon, we don't care anymore about you. No.
Sloppy.
I'm done with Fallon and her fake situation. Good for her. I'm glad she's moving on. I'm glad she's doing things. Oh. But this is not about them. This is not about them. This is about Kandi and the Gang. This is episode 6. We're almost done with this new season, this new show. And before you know it, Real Housewives of Atlanta will be starting. May 1st, Atlanta's coming back. May 11th, when Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be starting. Libra says, I like Kandi, but lately her exposure is too much. I can see that. And I think that's not even Candy's fault. I think it was because they pushed back Atlanta. Everything at Bravo has had to sort of be switched around. So a lot of what we're seeing, all these little spin-offs, what's her name? Karen Huger from Real Housewives of Potomac. She has her two-part spin-off that's coming. This is all to fill time. This is all to fill time. Because everything was pushed back. Things were canceled. Not Andy's show, though. Kandi did reveal on social media that there will be a Kandi and the Gang reunion, just not on Bravo. More than likely, it will be on Kandi's YouTube. But I've said this, Kandi, if you're watching, and I know that you are, you can't host it. I know you want to host it, and as you should. It is your situation. But we need someone to call you to the carpet. Not to say that there's a lot for her to be called to the carpet for, but we need someone to ask her questions. We've got questions. Sharon says, Kempire, every time you mention Portia's family of lies, I keep rolling on the floor laughing. Oh, Lord. Nora says, look at Kempire all come. This is actually the way I should have been doing my lives. But as you guys know, in the Kempire studio, there's just more I can do. There's better cameras, even though this camera's looking very good. But there's better cameras. There's more sound effects. There's more, whistles and things like that. If you're just joining us, this is our Kandi and the Gang recap that happens every Sunday at 10:20 p.m. Eastern after we do our watch party on TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok, follow me at TheKempire and at Kempire Daily. Okay. Sister Odu says, we need to ask why the restaurant ain't clean. Well, we've been asking for a while now. Let's talk about the side conversations before we go through all other things that happened in this episode. So the name of this episode is Too Many Todds, too many Tuckers in the kitchen. And of course, later in the episode, we get to see Todd finally go into the kitchen and see how hard those workers are doing. But when we go into the kitchen, we notice one thing.
Damn!
Sloppy.
Not Portia should host. The kitchen was kind of, look, I understand OLG is supposed to have this old and rustic feel. I went into that kitchen. I said I would not eat there. I wouldn't eat there. You can tell a lot about a restaurant in the kitchen. And look, trust and believe, we do not see the inside of a lot of kitchens of the restaurants that we love to partake in. Because if we did, we probably wouldn't eat there. And sometimes ignorance is bliss. And this is why your mama always tell you to eat at home, because you know how that food is cooked, you know how it's clean, you know the whole situation. That fried chicken don't look delectable to me. But I've always heard the food at Kandi and the Gang is good. This is why I can't host. You guys want me to host Kandi and the Gang reunion? You think they're gonna have me host? But if I do host, I want to try the food, because then I'll be honest with you guys. I've always heard the food was good. I just heard the service was terrible. Speaking of the service, Chandrika, you are a reality TV star. You are. Not in a good way, girl. Okay, in a good way. In a good way. Chandrika is still on this hunt to figure out who snitched, not even realizing she is the one who snitched on herself. Chandrika's like, I need to talk to you, Torin. Chandrika's the host. She's supposed to be at the door. She leaves the door. This poor woman shows up and is like, what's happening?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So she is still trying to figure out who snitched on her. Chandrika is a mess, but we do find out Chandrika has multiple businesses. And I know a lot of you speculate that they're just doing the show to do the show. A lot of these people don't necessarily work there anymore, but this show has been in the making since 2019. This is why they have so much footage. Chrissy says, I still don't like Chandrika, but that's what makes a reality TV star, where people have a strong reaction to that person. When I say I like someone for reality TV, and I said this earlier today for Love and Marriage Huntsville, doesn't mean I would hang out with them. Half these people I want to hang out with. More than half these people. I would hang out with Chandrika. I mean, I want to check out the shades, though. I like an entrepreneurial person. So apparently Chandrika has this sunglasses and glasses business. Mind you, I don't know how she knew that was what Torrin was wearing, because what she had, whatever she made. Look, one of the future sponsors, I'll let you guys know very soon. We're in the middle of figuring out the details of the sponsorship. I have very much similar sunglasses like what Torrin was rocking. So I was like, how'd you know those were yours? They weren't very unique. I mean, she does have some unique pieces, but that wasn't one of them. Anyways, all right. Okay, the opening of this episode, we see the Detroit grannies come in and they start twerking. I don't know why that was necessary. Maybe they just wanted to add something funny. Danielle says, I need to know the quality of these said sunglasses. I'm a Tom Ford girl. You know, you were just so bougie. I support the the high-end brands, but I also like supporting the smaller brands. Like, this is not expensive. I don't remember how much I paid for these. However, you can find quality in lower end, and I hate to say lower end, but you know what I'm saying. You guys get it, okay? Nora says, I need glasses that won't break in a week. Exactly. You know how long I've had these glasses? Let me see what you guys say. Let me see. Cookie says, it's like I've said, Kandi and Todd do not know what they are doing. I never heard them discussing food costs, ordering, food rotation in walk-in. Why? That's the nuts and bolts of your business. I mean, we have to understand, they are celebrities. They had this major platform. They had this idea. Todd is not interested in running the business. He only did the kitchen for the show. Samara says they look like Dollar General quality. Damn. The shade. Okay. Just Ralph says the food was good, and I think you mean reasonable? Like reasonably priced? I've always heard good things about the food. I'm just saying, from the looks of it, I'm like, I'm giving you guys the Stormy from Love and Marriage Huntsville face. That face. High Vibe says, why is Todd so negative? He acts entitled. We'll get to Todd in a second. Okay. So and this is part of the reason why I love Kandi. Because she employs all these people, family and friends, but we learn about Patrick and how he got his name. You know, Patrick was a big part of this episode. Patrick, as you know, got his new place. He fired Torrance so his girlfriend, Safari, would decorate the place. She's not doing a good job. I'm still worried about that television hanging from the ceiling. It was blowing in the wind like the OLG sign. It was moving, and that's like, is there a fan on? And even if there's a fan on, why is the TV? I'm very concerned, and those chains did not look sturdy. But Patrick is actually named after Kandi's brother that passed away years ago. And the only reason why I even know about Kandi's brother, even though she's mentioned it before on RHOA, was because when Kandi had her solo album, which is so slept on, her solo album is so good. Her solo album, Hey Kandi, is so good. Only reason why I know is because she has a song on that album with Faith Evans dedicated to her brother Patrick, and that's who Patrick is named after. So she has a really close connection to him, and Kandi loved her brother, and she has a close connection with Patrick, her nephew, not nephew, cousin. Um, and she has a close connection with Melvin, who she pretty much raised. Melvin is the cook. Kandi is just a lovable person. Look, Kandi, I may shade you. I might have to report on your tax issues, but that's my job, okay? But Kandi comes over their place and she's looking around and he's talking about how Safari is doing this and Safari is doing that. And we already know that he is whooped by Safari. But Kandi gives him some really good advice. And she's like, well, it sounds as if you have kind of lost yourself because you're like the life of the party. Why wouldn't you have a housewarming? And in that moment, he's like, I'm gonna have the housewarming. I just feel like Patrick doesn't know how to say no to women. He goes whichever way the wind goes, Patrick goes. But I like him. I know some of you do not like Safari. I think they're a really cute couple. They've been together over a year. I don't think she has any good decorating skills. She comes over with a rug that doesn't fit in the area that they want to put it. If Torin had decorated that place would have been boom. But this place is looking a hot mess from the rolled up rug in the corner. I don't know what that pillow was for. She brought some plants over. I mean, just because your girl is a girl doesn't mean that she has taste.
Sloppy.
LO says she can't decorate at all. He says it was her idea to put the TV on the chains from the ceiling. I mean, I don't mind that idea, but it shouldn't have been on chains. It should have been on something sturdy, like steel and hanging down. If you're not going to put it on a wall. That TV, I'm worried about that TV. I can still see the TV swinging. And I'm like, why is the TV swinging? Was there a shift in wind? I was looking for a fan. Omar says she's trying to kill him on the cool. Daniel said it needed support. It needed something. Wait, Sweet Pea says that TV looked like it's gonna fall. That anytime I hang something myself, I always feel like I hung this picture over here, and when I first hung it up, and I said, I don't know, because I'm not the most handy person, but I said, I mean, luckily I didn't hang these other things that you guys can't see above me, because then I would be paranoid that they're going to fall. Lion Pride says, didn't care for this episode. Why did they show us Mama Joy's I know. We do go to Safari's office again for a butt lift, a non-surgical butt lift. I mean, she does look great for her age. Mama Joyce. But it was such a random scene, but I guess they wanted to use that as a scene for Kandi to talk to Safari. Kandi, why didn't you just do the butt lift? Why didn't you just do it? I'm like, Kandi's like, I don't need it. Oh, that's Nelly. Good point. Nelly says, how are you watching anything when it's moving? Hashtag vertigo. What was it moving? And why is this apartment still not decorated yet? I like Safari. Safari's a beautiful girl, but I don't think she's good at decorating. So Don Juan, we got a lot of Don Juan this episode. Sidebar. Kandi, I see how you and Todd have your confessional looking great lighting, great makeup, but everybody else's confessionals are shaky, except Chandrika. Chandrika, did you do your own makeup? Because everyone else's makeup is looking very yellowish, and this has been since episode 1. I'm just like, who did the makeup for these confessionals? But you see how Kandi and Todd's confessionals look. Boom. Let me stop shaking the computer. Jay says, yes, get Torin back. Oh, My gosh. Lion Pride says, I turned the channel on that part. I couldn't. I have to watch everything for you guys. So Mama Joyce got a butt lift. I don't think those things work. That's like what they say about putting, you know, that little thing that they use for men's junk, where they say, that's the same idea. That's not going to work. Look, that's not going to work. Don Juan, we saw a lot of Don Juan this episode, which we appreciate because Don Juan is a mess and likes to stir the pot. So Don Juan has video footage of Brandon and Dom kissing in the office. Do they not know the cameras are there? You know what it is? I think after a while, when cameras are in a space like that, you don't think about them. Very much like when the cameras are rolling on a reality show. Exactly, Nora. A pee pump. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of Kandi and the Gang every single Sunday. If you missed it earlier today, we did a Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. Be sure to check that out and let us know your thoughts on that episode as well. We are live on multiple platforms, of course, on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, but we're also live on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're live on Twitch and Twitter. Hey, Twitter. Be sure to follow me there at The Kempire. Nelly says, I finally now like Don Juan. Really? Didn't like him before? I always find it interesting. There are a lot of people that don't like Mama Joyce. There are a lot of people that don't love Don Juan. I don't have those types of feelings for any of these characters on these characters. They're real people, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But Don Juan is like, okay, we have a problem. Here's some footage of Brandon and Dom making out. But we already known for some time now that Brandon is the problem at this restaurant. It's not necessarily everyone else. He's a manager and he doesn't know what he's doing. Shay says, yes, it works and lasts about a year. Okay. Sister Moon says, I now don't like Don Juan, honestly. Really? I don't have those feelings towards Don Juan. Don Juan seems very invested in the staff, has personal relationships with the staff, but he's also works for Kandi for a very long time, carries the bone, wants to make sure that everything he's producing television. He's actually a producer on this show as well. So he brings that information to them, but also Pebbles brings the information that Brian is drinking again. As you know, Brian has had issues with sobriety. He's opened up about that on the show. I know he also did Kandi Speak on it. I have not gathered myself enough to go watch that because I know it's going to be heart-wrenching. Like, his story this season has been heart-wrenching to watch. Well, Don Juan also confronts Brian about this, and Brian gets defensive. He's like, I'm just drinking wine. I mean, I had a little something last month, but he's like, I'm not doing this or that. I'm not doing, any of the other stuff. And he went through all the stuff that he was doing, and he went through the whole process. Of how he would get his, you know what? I don't want to, violate any YouTube guidelines. How he would get his stuff back in the day. He also talked about how his sister died and how she took her life. He's been through a lot, but I agree with Don Juan that if you're drinking wine, you're not sober. And I know there are a lot of people that have addiction think that they can do that. I know Mary J. Blige used to say that she could do that. And she ended up falling back into her issues with sobriety, reportedly. So I'm still concerned because even looking at Brian when he was talking to Don Juan, anyone else notice it? I was like, I don't know how sober Brian is. Anyone else agree? Like, we hope when we wish the best for Brian, but in that moment when Don Juan and he were having that conversation, I was looking at Brian like, And I'm one who can never tell when somebody has an issue because I am as sober as they come. Okay. Oh, see, Kat said, yep. Oh, April says, I agree. Kat says, yes, I noticed it, Kempire. Yes. Samara says he needs therapy. Quinn says, I agree. And shout out to you guys. Ebony was trying to get me to link up with Andre. You know what? I have to give it to Philip. Philip is a good-looking man. Philip is a good-looking man. We don't get a lot of the messy Philip in this episode. He's still being a manager. He's still being very professional. But watching him, I was like, ew. Cammy says, Kempire After Hours, and I agree. Could be a getaway, the one. Yeah, I'm still a little worried for Brian. But he did go to rehab. I don't know if he needs to go back, but I don't know. Where are we? Guys, we have over 500 people watching our Kandi and the Gang recap. I'm just here checking my notes to make sure I'm covering the areas that I want to cover. So Todd agrees that he's going to go work in the kitchen at OLG, but everyone's going to go with him. The OLG ladies are going to go with him. Candy's going to be there with him. Bertha is going to be the manager. Sidebar, on Bertha, they had a break the fourth wall moment with producer, and I think that's the same producer that broke the fourth wall on Portia's Family of Lies when he was talking about how come we're not talking about what happened the night before. I think that was the same producer that was trying to grab up on Bertha. On Bertha said, if you're young and you got money, you could touch anywhere. I said, on Bertha. Just saying. Hold on. Yes, Rhonda says Brian admitted to having the dealers bring his stuff to the run. Yep, he did. On Bertha is everything. All the OLG ladies give me life. Even Mama Joyce. I don't care how you guys feel about Mama Joyce. She gives me life too. Auntie Eva says Philip is good looking, but his pants were pulled up under his armpits when he came to that meeting. You guys are so shady. Sister Anu says, I am here for Aunt Bertha. Every once in a while, you have to look at her face sometimes because sometimes that is the comedy. Sometimes she's saying, I can't believe Aunt Bertha is still smoking at her age. Like, I need you to stay around for a very long time, Aunt Bertha. Why are you still smoking? She's like, I need to go take a smoke break. So we're in the kitchen. We're getting to, first of all, Todd got a hairnet on his head, a hairnet on his beard. He's like, this is hard. No, it's Sherlock. But we don't get to see, they flash back to the scene where Kandi loses it on Todd, and she's very protective of Melvin, you know, her cousin that she basically raised. And she's very protective of him. And they all feel as if Kandi wasn't there, Todd would have let Melvin go a long time ago. But Melvin seems to be like he has it together. Your business is still running. Like, what's your issue with Melvin, Todd? You seem to be the biggest issue of them all. Nelly says, yes, I don't smoke, and maybe I got a shot at this point. My thing is, there are just certain people that can smoke and live to forever, but that's not everybody. Just saying. Guys, where mods, if you can just let me know where we are with the likes. We have over 500 people in the building, almost 550 people watching our Kandi and the Gang recap. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting our channel, but you also are supporting other channels that recap the show and other reality TV shows. This way, the algorithm will let this show up on your platform and other people's platforms. So be sure to like the video if you haven't already. And a new episode of my podcast, Kempire Radio, just came out over the weekend, and it's called Testing Adulting. Be sure to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube. Guys, let's get to 250 likes. Let's get to 250 likes. Yeah, so the podcast just came out over the weekend, and for the very first time, we're going to have a video version of the podcast on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to that if you haven't already. I know there's quite a few that probably haven't. So that's where you're going to get a video version where I talk about personal things. I'm talking about the hot topics, but you get to actually see my face like we do here. But this will be the podcast. First, the audio version will come out first, and then later will be the visual version. Okay. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. And yes, you can get more details on the podcast at KempireRadio.com. Thank you to my mods. All right. Let's move on. So they're in the kitchen, and we're getting to see what the process is. And that's when I was sort of like the
Sloppy.
Damn!
I'm seeing the fried chicken. I mean, some of the food did look good to me though. Like the deviled eggs. I was like, I might try that when I go, if I go. What else did I like that I saw in the kitchen? I mean, even the biscuits didn't look that great to me. I mean, I get it. It's fast food, but still. But I heard that the food is good. I've always heard that the food is good. Maybe a handful of people have said that the food is not good. Maybe a handful of people have told me that the food is not good. But they did ask the OLG's ladies, what's the benefit of having a family restaurant? And Aunt Bertha was like, eating for free. I mean, my uncle used to have a restaurant, a Jamaican restaurant, and that definitely was one of the benefits. After school, going to his restaurant and having a Jamaican beef patty. Damn it. Che says, the food looks regular. Being from New York, Southern food is nasty. I don't think Southern food is nasty. I can appreciate Southern food. I just don't. I don't know. It doesn't look delectable to me. Like we watch a lot of reality TV and we see food on television, like when we watch Below Deck and things like that. It doesn't look as delectable. Just saying. Chase says, New York will ruin food in other states. They can't cook. Damn. Teresa says, you look so chill, Kemper. I'm trying. All right. I'm going to drop the call-in link. Guys, if you could just let me know how many likes we've got in the live chat. Let me drop the call-in so you guys can call in and share your thoughts on Kandi and the Gang. And then I'm going right to bed. I'm just going to take this laptop off and I'm just going to... No, I'm not. Y'all know I'm not. Y'all know I'm always find something to do. Like work. All right. All right, guys, let's get to 250 likes. I've already dropped the call-in link. Thank you all for being here. We are talking about, of course, the Kandi and the Gang. Kandi and the Gang. Now y'all make me look. We always end up talking about food, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna eat. It's too late to be eating anything. Libra says Southern food is not nasty. Sister Ruth says I love Southern food. Nerva says, not plateable at all. They should wipe the side of the mac and cheese dishes. I told you guys the story when my friend went to OLG and he posted a picture and I said, is that a chip plate? It was. He said that's how it was served to him at OLG. Okay. Let's take a couple of callers, guys. In my opinion, I'm going to bring you up. Hey, in my opinion, long time no speak.
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
I'm
Let
well.
me tell you, first of all, we have the best Southern cooking in the South, but everybody can't be in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And why would you have a show that emphasizes your food in your restaurant and it's not clean? It's not a good look.
Yeah.
You want people to want to come to your restaurant. I feel like this show is doing the opposite for her. It's already the ratings, the health department closed it down 2 times. And then you show your show and it's just nasty and food look nasty. And yeah, that don't inspire me to want to come and eat your food. I'm thinking salmonella and did you see that cornbread? I done heard plenty of people make their cornbread different, but I ain't never seen mayonnaise in cornbread. That's
Damn.
just disgusting. Like,
Omar brings up a good question. My question is, why did they film at the other OLG location? Because I think this is where they've been filming since 2019. I don't know if the other OLG was even open or ready to be open when they started filming this. So that might be part of the reason why. And this is also where it was made popular, this particular location.
well, best of luck to them. I tell you what. I told you the first time, they need a pressure cooker to go on through there. You know what I'm saying? Just clean that place up, because, baby, it ain't just the decorations that need to be fixed. Because that TV, boy, it was finna reach out and touch somebody.
You are fired today, in my opinion. Question.
Okay.
The last scene, the one scene that we didn't talk about was Brandon, them Don Juan and Philip calling him out on having this relationship with Dom. And he pretty much is like, well, we can send Dom over to the other OLG location. And it seems as if he tells her he tells her a whole other thing when he goes to her practice. What were your thoughts on that situation with Brandon and Dom?
Let me tell you something. First of all, Brandon and Dom, I feel like this. You should never get in a relationship with somebody that you work with anyway. First of all, and especially if you're supposed to be a manager.
Yeah.
Okay. And we all know that once he got Dom, he was like, just googly eyes. He wasn't even doing his job. So I feel like they need to give them an ultimatum. Either y'all in y'all relationship or one of y'all got to go. Like, it's just period. You took that management job knowing what it entailed, and you're not holding your end of the deal up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in that aspect, that's grounds for termination anyway, because you're not doing your job. But you got to have somebody in the business that know what they're doing. And the restaurant business is not a business that you could just jump in just because you got the money and hop in there. You need to know that everything that they're giving away for free, it's still costing you. So how are you going to pick up those costs? It's everything that goes into it. Like, I tell you, I was in the restaurant industry for like 20 years. And what I couldn't get people to understand being a manager is they thought, okay, well, we're going to get something for free. We're going to feed our friends. Like, if you keep on feeding them, then you're not going to get no bonuses. You're not going to get no raises, because that restaurant is having to pay that cost of all that free food y'all just pushing out. It just is what it is. Restaurant business ain't for the punks.
Definitely. All right, Miss, in my opinion, we appreciate you calling in.
Okay, well, thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye. Jennifer, we're gonna bring you up in just a second. I just want to see what you guys are saying in the chat. The feeling says, in my opinion, is speaking the truth. So someone said, exactly, caller. Omar says, I would give him a month while she's gone. Well, we have to remember one other thing. It's not just his relationship with Dom that makes Brandon terrible. Brandon is also terrible as a manager in general. They could probably do without Brandon. Honestly. This is just one example of how Brandon is dropping the ball as a manager. And he's a liar, too. He's pretty much like, well, she can go to this other location. And Don knew what he was talking about, because it's like, no, because you are the manager. If we were to do something like that, she could sue them. She could sue them if they did something like that. And she already told him, I'm not going over the place. She said, that's too far. Too far. All right, Jennifer, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Jennifer?
Hey, Kempire, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
fine. You know what? You took the words right out of my mouth, because you know my background in legal. So I was thinking the same thing, and I was glad that Don Juan said it, because they can be sued if they move her. Do you know how many correctional officers I've walked off prison grounds for having relationships with officers, and then they get mad when it goes bad and file a claim? And the manager knew and nobody did anything.
Ooh.
So then it's like two people losing their job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they could come back and sue. And this isn't in California, so I know it's there too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about that. I like that when Don Juan's like, "What? Are you crazy, boy?" but
that tells you how much of an idiot Brandon is.
He is. I was gonna say the same thing. Brandon is an employee that they can lose, because he is not doing a good job at all. And I wanted to say, I love Brian. I understand their concern, but I love him. He's been through a lot. Yeah. He's been through a lot, and I just love him. We just gonna keep him prayed up. And then with Patrick and Sandrika, why don't they just invite Sandrika and her fiance? Isn't she engaged?
She is, and it seems as if someone invites them and they show up, and that's a whole situation next week.
Lord Jesus. Todd is so critical.
Like he's perfect.
Exactly. And we know he's not. And he needs to be careful on the show, because I really do like Kandi. I like Kandi. Kandi is just a bomb. She handles business. Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Todd just needs to be careful, because he's coming off so critical. And you know, when you're doing that, people start digging, and every man ain't an Obama, you know? Because you know how they tried to turn over everything on Obama and couldn't find nothing. But you know, some people, everybody ain't Obama. So Todd needs to just chill, because the
Mama Joyce already said last week. She said half of Atlanta don't like Todd.
Woo, didn't she say it? I was like, he really does need to be careful. He really does, because he criticizes everything. Even after working in the kitchen, they worked him like a dog. And instead of him just coming straight out saying, "Wow, this was harder than I thought," he still had to come with some mess. They're gonna knock his butt down. And I just don't want Kandi to feel the backlash of that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I wanted to say. But Kempire, I just want to tell you something, my brother. I don't know you, but I love you. Oh. You just doing big things. I'm telling you, for real. You just doing big things, and I love it. I love the way you carry yourself on on your channels, all your channels. I love the way you bring information. Thank you. I love the way you do the sweet shade. You know what I'm saying? You just keep it light and you keep it funny. I really do appreciate that, because I've tried. Now, I told you before, I'm a baby boomer. I try to keep up. I tried before to listen to some of these other YouTubers, and I can't do it. That's why I loved it when it was you, B. Scott, DJ Richie, Denver. Y'all did that. And I listened to your podcast. Time. Yeah, I love you, Kempire. Keep doing your thing, baby.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. We appreciate you.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye.
Guys, if you haven't listened to the B. Scott Show podcast that we did, where we talked about Will Smith, we talked about RHOA, it was me, B. Scott, Denver, and DJ Richie Sky. Listen to that episode. Let's break records with that episode. Let that be B. Scott's best episode ever. So if you haven't listened to that, be sure to listen to that. And if you haven't listened to my podcast, Kempire Radio, a new episode just came out over the weekend. And thank you all for all your kind messages and congratulatory messages about us hitting over 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're almost at 111,000 subscribers. And as I've already said, now our goal is 1 million. 1 million. As you know, every single week, every single Sunday, we do our recap of Kandi and the Gang. This is no different. I want to see the final results of how you guys rated this episode. Okay. All right. With over 300 and something votes, 334 votes, you guys rated this episode between 7 and 10 with 68% of the vote. That's really, really, really good. That's really, really good. I think the show is doing well. The ratings have suffered because you remember the Oscar slap heard around the world a couple of weeks ago. And just in general, the Oscars. People are watching that. Then there was the Grammys the following weekend. Her ratings were somewhere in the 300,000. I kept on telling you guys, it's still better than Watch What Happens Live. It is. I'm only speaking facts. I'm only speaking facts. I want to see another season of Kandi and the Gang. It's wholesome fun. It's still funny. It's its first season. And even in its first season, it has a lot of great potential. I look forward to whatever they can do next. And that's the great thing about this type of show. You can shift the characters because it's a restaurant. So you can bring people to the forefront. You can bring new people in. I like how Kandi's coming in and out. I like Kandi in this role, sort of like the matriarch of the whole situation. I mean, this is not a good look for Todd. It's not a good look for Todd at all.
Sloppy.
Oh, Lord. It's not. Todd, this is not a good look for you. But Todd probably doesn't care. Todd probably doesn't even give a damn. He's like, let me collect another check. Let me collect another check. Robin, I'm going to bring you up. I see you're backstage. What's going on, Robin?
Hi. So, Kempire, as I was watching and listening, I was like, why do people not like this show? Too many folks are looking for the housewives, and this ain't the housewives, and hallelujah. And I like that we don't see a whole lot of Kandi and Todd. They're just the vehicle. You know, they're the housewives that we say, why are they there? Because we need somebody to bring it to us. And I'm really enjoying it. And I do hope that they have a second season as well. And on that dirty kitchen, and I say dirty in air quotes, because notice they talked about the slip pads in the kitchens. There are not a whole lot of kitchens that you're going to go into that you can eat off the floor immediately or all the time, because it can be quick, fast, and messy. So let's give them a little bit of a something. And the last thing, I'm done.
Robin, I wasn't even talking about the floor.
Oh, but isn't that what everybody was talking about? The floor?
Well, we were talking about that not last week, the week before. I was talking about everything else. I was looking at the corners. I was looking, oh, what's that over there in the back? I was looking everywhere. I wasn't even looking at the floor.
See, now that sounds like that time I went to the old Bronx Lebanon Hospital. I said, oh, Lord, where did all that dust come from? Jesus. Anyway. Oh. I listened to both podcasts this afternoon, by the way, and I did enjoy them. So I encourage everyone to do that as well.
Thank you so much, Robin. Right. Anything else before we let you go?
No. Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. You heard Robin say, go listen to the podcast, guys, if you haven't already. Frankie is asking the question, where can I see the collaboration podcast with B. Scott? Any podcast, if you're on Apple, Spotify, the B. Scott Show, that's the last episode that B. Scott did. That's with me, Denver, DJ Richie Sky, where we talk about RHOA. That came out last week. And of course, my podcast is Kempire Radio. Let me just see what your final thoughts are going on in here. Oh, Evelyn says, bring back the Todd is an opportunist storyline. Well, I feel like that's going to happen this season on RHOA. I feel like that's what's going to happen this season on RHOA. Ada says, this show is good, but I can't get hungry when watching, especially the kitchens. Me either. I don't get hungry watching this show. I have to say, the deviled eggs looked a little bit more delectable. But let me tell you something. Just because it doesn't look delectable doesn't mean that it's not delicious. And as I said to you before, I've heard good things about the food. I've heard terrible things about the service. But now with this show of Kandi and the Gang, we understand why there's terrible service. Chandrika, you're a mess. A beautiful mess, but a mess. Next week's episode is going to be all about the housewarming party. We're rolling out, I believe that, I don't know how many episodes there's supposed to be. I think there's supposed to be 10 episodes, but we shall see. We're also supposed to be like 10 episodes of Portia's Family of Lies. So, we only got 6 or 7. And that was way too many. She should have got a 2-part episode. Oh my goodness. You guys going in on Todd. This is one who says we should be getting honey watching those kitchen scenes. I don't know why they even went into the kitchen. I know why they went into the kitchen because Mama Joyce made a big deal about it last week. But I don't know if that's going to be good for business. We don't need to see how the milk is made. Just saying. Ashley says, y'all remember on RHOA, Todd said he actually came up with the recipes. Maybe that's why they put mayo in the cornbread. Did he say he came up with the recipes? I thought the recipes were supposed to be the OLG ladies. I know Kandi mentioned in this episode that she's the one who came up with the sweet potato thing. And they were not following her recipe. Hey, Adira. I love it when you guys come in and you say, I'm finally catching a live. Well, here you are on a Sunday night. I'm in my boudoir. I'm in the boudoir in my Ralph Lauren pajamas. Exactly. Comment says it's OLG. I believe it's their recipes. I don't recall him ever saying that. I wouldn't shock me if Todd did say that he came up with the recipes. Ada says in Mariah's voice, power wash this mother effer. I can't believe that Mariah still is not coming back to Married to Medicine. She didn't come back this season. Are they still fighting legally? Tamara says Kandi and Todd need to stop being cheap, upgrade the kitchen, and give the workers raises. I mean, the workers that are there now don't need a raise. Hire some new workers, then maybe give those people a raise. The workers now, they walk. The hostess is leaving the front to go have a side conversation without having anyone at the front. Okay, Green Girl says, I think Todd came up with the menu based on the OLG recipes. Princess Henderson says, I can't find the podcast with you and B. Scott. It's called the B. Hold on, where is my phone? Hold on, y'all. Look. Hold on. Please hold. Because y'all gonna make me look it up. I'm like, wait a second. Unless they took it down. I don't know why they would take it down. Hold on, y'all. It's a live show. Let me just make sure it's still there. Okay. Let me see. B. Scott. Hold on, y'all. No, it's still there. It's called it's finally peach season. It's called The B. Scott Show. You can hold your mule. Oh, Brian is such a refreshing part of this show. Refreshing part of this show. Again, guys, for those that are trying to find the new episode of the B. Scott Show. Yeah, Robin listened to it earlier today. Yeah, it's the B. Scott Show on Apple, on Spotify. I've also posted it on Twitter. Links on Twitter. Oh, Judy says, I listen to your podcast on Amazon. See, my podcast is also available on Amazon. Thank you, Nora, for linking us. But for those that were looking for the B. Scott podcast episode where DJ Richie Sky and myself were on, you can check it out there. Matter of fact, let me pin that. Let me pin it just in case for those that want to listen to it on Spotify. Let me end the poll. Thank you to my mods. Thank you, Nora. All right. Final thoughts. Look, let me give my final thoughts. It's late, y'all. I've been up all day giving you guys content. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you, Nora. Okay. Final thoughts on Kandi and the Gang's latest episode. Too many Tuckers in the kitchen. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a solid. For me, if I had to rate this episode, it wasn't their best episode because I feel like last week was a really good episode. So this week, I would probably give it an 8. I think the show is good. I think it has potential, but I felt like the show had potential from the moment I heard about the idea and I knew that they were working on it. I'm looking forward to see what the next couple of episodes are going to be. As I said to you before, I wanted a reunion based off of an IG live that they did. We are going to get a reunion. It just won't be on Bravo. It will be a Kandi coded production, I'm sure. But Kandi, you can't host it. I hope they haven't filmed it yet. You can't host it. Get somebody else to host it. Just saying. Oh, thank you all for being here. Final thoughts. I thought it was a great episode. I rated about an 8. I'm looking forward to seeing what else, how they're going to wrap up this season. Next week is going to be the housewarming at Patrick. Patrick, I know Patrick is a player, or used to be a player. I still really like Patrick. I think Patrick is so woo woo woo, Patrick, woo woo woo. Patrick, take that TV off of those chains. Take that TV off of those chains. I'm worried for you. I'm afraid one day it's just going to fall on someone's head. Kat says, Kempire, when you clap with seriousness, it makes me giggle. Kat says, I'm getting sleepy watching you in bed. Ooh. Anne says, get Cynthia to host. I wouldn't mind seeing that little reunion. She has no association. And she, she could be as shady as she wants to be. I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. You never know. I mean, she's looking for work. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Guys, if you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. Join our texting community. That way you don't miss out on any hot tea, breaking news, when we're going live, where we're going live. Head on over to TextKempire.com. And don't forget to show love to our moderators. Thank you to all of our subscribers. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Replay crew, what did you think of this episode? How would you rate this episode? What did you think of all the scenes? Are you enjoying Kandi and the Gang? Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Let's get out of here like we usually do. Even in bed, I'm going to play some music. Sandy says, thank you, Kempire. I finally caught a live. I love hearing that. Let's get out of here. I got a new song for us, y'all.
The guy was never mine. He didn't love me like I. Now he is calling and calling, and he's feeling something for me. I will not believe in his promises. That's why I stay before he kisses me again. I'm drowning in the ocean, being betrayed by emotion. I know that he's playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart. For the reason I didn't listen is hiding in his kisses. I know that he's playing with my heart. I was happy with you, don't forget about it. But you never loved me and you always thought it. I'm dying, disappearing while you never felt the same thing. I remember 2015. Oh yeah, and now he is calling. And he's feeling something funny. I will not believe in his promises. That's what I say before he kisses me again. Oh, I'm drowning in the ocean, being betrayed by emotion. I know that he's playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart. For the reason I listen is hiding his kisses. I know that he's playing with my heart. Playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart. Playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart. I know that he's playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart. Playing with my heart. He's playing with my heart.